What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and get started here. I am trying my best to figure out Facebook. For some reason, they have me listed under Call of Duty, and I never told them to do that. So I'm a little frustrated. Like I'm not playing Call of Duty. I never told you I was playing Call of Duty. Yet it keeps putting it on there post after post. There's gotta be a way. How to remove game tag from live post.
How to tag a game on Facebook.
I feel like it's in the Creator Studio. Here's the Creator Studio. Let me refresh here. Where is my current upload? What is happening? Huh. I legitimately do not know how to remove this tag from my post. I can't get Facebook to remove this freaking tag off my post. It's like requiring me to tag a game. What if I tag a different game? What if I what is the Facebook equivalent of just chatting? Hanging out. That's what it is. Okay. What if I just change it to that? Seriously? Like, seriously? Why is it not working? Come on. Why does Facebook make this so complicated? It's so easy on all the other apps. I don't understand. Oh. Now, why isn't it letting me change it? So I can change it on Restream. It still freaking says that I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm not playing Call of Duty. What is Facebook's problem? Wow, did it finally take it off? Have I finally figured it out? Thank goodness. All right. I finally got Facebook to say that I'm not playing Call of Duty. Goodness, that took so much effort. So much unnecessary effort. Okay. Woo! That was a struggle. But I feel better now. Now that my post is fixed, and now that we're 17 minutes into the stream, we can finally get started. Man. Okay. Let me flip back over to the music here. I'm not feeling this music. All right. Chat. Been an interesting day for me. Had just some stuff going on at work where people were kind of hindering me from doing my job. My own team was hindering me from doing my job. And it's very frustrating because we have a new employee where they need some major attention. They need somebody to sit with them and show them step by step, detail by detail, how you should be processing certain items, certain accounting items. And my boss unfortunately hindered us today and made it just flat out refuse to give us access to a system that he needed in order to process the work and learn how to do it. So that has made this a very frustrating day. I had a heart to heart with my manager. We talked it out. I discussed what my train of thought was, and we cleared it up. That's a great thing about being an adult. So when you're a kid, a lot of times you'll have arguments and you won't actually get to any sort of resolution. You'll actually end the conversation talking from two sides and never actually coming to an understanding why the other person is saying what they're saying. So my boss was afraid that I was trying to take control of this employee like they were my employee. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them as up to speed as possible so that they can take the items that I've been doing for them and that I can do my job better moving forward. So after a good talk, we came to an understanding and feel a lot better. So I just want to have a chill night, chill Thursday night, to relax, enjoy some YouTube videos, maybe learn a thing or two. I actually have some ideas of some videos that we can do to learn something. So let's actually pop over here to this Brain Games video. This is something that I am I've watched a bit of Brain Games, and so I know some of these already, and it'll shock you. They're gonna actually show you some things about yourself that you didn't know, and it creates for some interesting stuff. You'll see what I mean. let's take a look.
Whether it's the bright lights and dazzling colors of the Las Vegas Strip, or the blinding sun that forms this desert mirage, all too often, it's the simple illusions of light and shadow that warp your brain's perspective of reality. To show you what we mean, let's play a game. Take a look at this desert halfway around the world. What do you see? A bunch of big camels, right? Except there are no big camels. Those camels are really shadows thrown by the actual camels, which are the light brown figures on the sand. This photo by National Geographic photographer George Steinmetz is a perfect example of how your brain makes snap judgments about perspective. Your brain has a tendency to assume that whatever you're looking at must be at eye level. After all, you're probably only used to seeing camels from one angle, the ground. Which is why you might have mistaken these black shadows.
It's pretty cool.
Actual camels.
That's pretty cool. When you do first glance at the photo, it does actually make you think that the shadow is the camel,
This is your brain's way of creating a 3D image.
not the
of what you're
little
seeing,
image on the ground.
and then mentally changing the angle to give you a better point of view.
Whether it's a deceptive camera angle, forced perspective, or a trick of light and
It's very interesting.
the slightest change in perspective can cause your brain to leap to false conclusions. So you're about to see in this next experiment.
Take
Wait. YouTube is detecting copyright audio on my stream. Shit. I'm not sure that we can do brain games on stream. Dang it. All right. Bailing on this. I'm going to subscribe to National Geographic. I feel like there's some of their content we might actually be able to do. But obviously we can't do all of it. So obviously we can't do brain games. Let's cool off with something else then. I'm pretty sure this is going to be allowed. So let's play this and see how this goes.
The ingenuity of a people.
Oh, my thought process behind this. Somebody told me this once, that it was actually impossible for humans to have built the pyramids. And they went through some logic as to why they came to that conclusion. It actually made some sense. So I haven't seen this video, which is on the same subject. I haven't seen this specific video. However, I'm curious to see if they come up with similar to the same facts that I've heard before.
That lived long before any of our precise modern tools were invented. Egyptologists are still in disagreement over exactly how the 6 million ton structure was built. And when we look at the Great Pyramid, it's not just the millions of stones that it took to build it that makes it so mind-boggling, but the almost unearthly precision it possesses. This has become an enduring question. Was it humanly possible to create these buildings, or did something otherworldly have a hand in constructing these awe-inspiring tombs?
So he says otherworldly. Now I'm not saying that's not an option. Yeah, it could be aliens from a different planet. However, there's also a running theory that since the Earth is what billions of years old, millions of years old, something like that. It's a crazy, phenomenal amount, lot longer, much longer than humans have been around. Since the Earth is that old, the other theory is that prior to our existence, prior to the world existing as we know it, there was actually a race before us that was way more advanced than we were, different than we are, in a world compiled of similar elements, but completely different from ours. from the way it looks now. And so when we think of aliens, could be a mixture of ideas here. Could be a mixture of options.
There are over 100 pyramids in Egypt alone, not to mention the pyramids around the world built by other civilizations such as the Mayans. That these two cultures on different sides of the globe were building such similar impressive monoliths of the same shape has caused some to ask if the civilizations had any connection. Perhaps there was something that brought them together, whether it be that they both used the same powerful hallucinogenic plants, or maybe even something supernatural. Speaking to Psychology Today, one archaeologist said, quote, "The Mayan and Egyptians had good architects, priests, and technologists, but there's no proof for contact. No proof yet, but that hasn't stopped people hypothesizing ways the Mayans and ancient Egyptians might have had a
for me to think that there's connection
we will
there.
Stick with just Egypt today, though, and show you just how magnificent and strangely advanced these pyramids were. The structure we're focusing on is the largest and most famous of all,
the two civilizations. I would say the human mind is built in such a way when you're a child, you actually create similar ideas as other children because that is how you are structured. So it's not impossible to think that two civilizations from across the globe came up with a similar idea on a great monument. Now that doesn't mean that they are necessarily wrong on their theory. I'm just saying that doesn't prove shit.
Great Pyramid of Giza. It was built over 4,000 years ago, and that's far from the only mind-blowing fact. Just
okay, YouTube apparently likes this video, so we'll stick to this subject
exactly
for now.
To true north, an astounding feat that seems almost impossible for the time. Ancient manuscripts give no clue how the engineers managed this, although most experts have concluded those industrious Egyptians must have used the stars. Not everyone agrees on exactly how they did it, with some believing that the measurements were too precise for humans of the time to have calculated. But one down-to-earth hypothesis is that they used a simple plumb bob, a tool that Egyptians used in the construction of monuments for thousands of years to plot the perfect direction between two stars. Even more impressive, though, is the hypothesis that the pyramid was built to exact dimensions of our planet. This is too long and exhaustive of a theory to explain in detail, but the gist of the idea is that the height and perimeter of the Great Pyramid are in a ratio of 43,200 to the radius and circumference of the Earth. Pretty complex for a civilization working 4,000 years before Columbus sailed across the Atlantic. But it goes even further.
Wait, I don't understand the theory. I don't understand the finding there. The pyramid is in ratio to the Earth, meaning the height and width of it, the height, width, and depth is in ratio to the Earth. Is that, maybe that's what they're going for? I don't know what ratio they're talking about. So
with some of the more far out pyramid theories saying that the various dimensions of the pyramid relate to the mass of the sun, the speed of light, the orbital velocity of the moon, and much, much more. Skeptics state that if you play around with numbers enough, as is the case with most mystical numerology, that you can get any result you want.
Yes, I found
there
the
are
hidden
still
message.
People who say the entire structure is an encoded message from the past. But how would the Egyptians understand these concepts long before the scientific revolution? From a non-human source, perhaps? But, and this is a very big but, that hypothesis only makes sense if you believe that these numbers are contained in the various ratios of the pyramid in the first place. Let's get down to brass tacks and the actual construction of the pyramid. The most accepted and mainstream view in academia is that it took around 20 years to build, with construction finishing around 2560 BC. And the result the Egyptians saw back then wasn't anything like we see today. There's lots of evidence that the pyramid was originally encased in a breathtaking, smooth, polished limestone. It it would have looked almost futuristic at the time, a sleek man-made mountain rather than the weathered pile of squared-off blocks we see today. The pyramid stands 481 feet, and each side of the base is 755.9 feet long and weighs an unfathomable 5.9 million tons. Notwithstanding all the great brains behind the operation, there must have been an awful lot of brawn put into the building. For 20 years, the work must have been non-stop, with its 2.3 million blocks being moved around and hoisted up to great heights at the rate of around 12 blocks laid per hour around the clock. I hope those workers got overtime. Joking aside, for a long time it was believed that it took 100,000 workers to do the job and that they were all virtually or literally slave labor. It's now believed by most historians that it only took around 20,000 men and that they were more like skilled workers, with a mix more like a modern workforce with managers, laborers, engineers, and support living and working at the site. Believe it or not, evidence has also been found of a massive catering operation that fed all those hungry workers who went on with life as normal as they built a wonder of the world, with documents being found that state guys took days off for having a fight with his wife or working on my house. Now, back to the possibility of a little help from alien friends.
Wow.
Let's imagine you were told to get a bunch of guys together and build a 481-foot pyramid from stones you have to cut and drag from a quarry. Oh, and by the way, all you have to work with are very basic tools like pickaxes and chisels. You have no machinery to speak of, and get this, the largest stones you'll be using weigh up to 80 tons. For
I'd be
reference,
like,
an adult
"Fuck
African
you.
elephant only weighs around 7
I ain't doing
tons.
that.
So just imagine pulling about 11 elephants and you'll have an idea of what it was like to move those larger stones. And while most of the blocks were smaller, they still had to come from a quarry that's over 500 miles away. You're not only going to lay those stones with the utmost precision, but your workmanship and end product has to be absolutely beautiful and fit for a god king. Does this seem like something humans could have accomplished in 2500 BC, or did they require some help from above? What about you? Are you up for the job? Great! Get started today and we'll give you until 2039 to finish the job. But how would humans accomplish a feat of engineering so grand? Now, it might sound impossible, but there's evidence the ancient Egyptians used a kind of algorithm to work out the best way to get those stones to the build site and then get them placed. Newsweek has written that experts believe a sled was pulled with ropes to move the heavy stones. But really, pulling that kind of weight on a sled? Well, some experts now think to help pull the stones across the desert, they used a trick that was much simpler than asking aliens for help, adding a bit of water to the sand to help them slide along. A wall painting was found that looks to portray men using a sled to drag a huge stone with someone else pouring the water. As for the height, it's now generally agreed that a ramp system was used and that some kind of grease or animal fat was used to ease the path of the stone. So in all, we have stones being mined and shaped in a quarry, loaded on boats, dragged across sand, and then pulled with ropes. That all sounds pretty doable by humans to me. So we have an almost but not completely impossible feat of precision and a job that's extremely labor-intensive but possible for humans to accomplish on their own. Now, we still don't really know exactly how they aligned the pyramid with true north, or what the precise method of construction was, and as we speak, the idea that there are secret codes hidden in the dimensions of the structure is still being debated. But does this mean aliens got in on the action, and then perhaps traveled over to the other side of the world and had a word with the Mayans? Not at all. In fact, it just shows us that ancient people were very intelligent and perhaps more advanced than we'd given them credit for. Maybe they had more sophisticated tools that we haven't yet discovered, and perhaps their mastery of math and astronomy were more advanced than we'd considered. But what if it wasn't aliens, but instead an advanced early civilization that inspired the Egyptians?
Now that's what I'm talking about.
That while the existence of an advanced early civilization on Earth is unlikely, there is a theory called the Silurian hypothesis, which poses the question of if there was a super advanced civilization that existed, say, millions of years ago, would we even be able to detect it today? But the paper which first posed this question stated, while we strongly doubt that any previous industrial civilization existed before our own, asking the question raises its own useful questions. So let's make it clear the document in no way proves such a civilization existed. It only explores the potential for one. There is clearly still a lot we don't know about the pyramids and their construction, but there's a lot of evidence that they were built by supremely clever people and a lot of hard work. Those ancients might not have been given a hand from aliens, but what they did is mind-blowingly spectacular in its own right. If you're like us, you're probably wanting to know more about the ancient Egyptians, as well as other ancient civilizations like the Sumerians and the Akkadians. This is why we've been using the Great Courses Plus and have been loving the course History of the Ancient World, A Global Perspective. The Great Courses Plus is a
Seriously, is the rest of this
subscription-on-demand
just an
video
ad?
service with incredible
Okay. Well, you get the idea. So this video didn't really go into the detail of why architects think that it would be almost impossible for such an early civilization to build something like that. I do like the video though. I love how the suggested video after that, what sound does a whoopee cushion make? Giant whoopee cushion. We're not gonna do Fear Factor. By the way, chat, last time we did Fear Factor, and I'm pretty sure that's what gave me a copyright claim. So they deleted that part of my video on YouTube. So we're not going to be doing that kind of video anymore. We're going to be monitoring to make sure it's not copyrighted stuff. I'm not trying to get in trouble for anything like this. Dude, this is 50 minutes long.
In 1860, a French naturalist was cutting his way through the Cambodian jungle in search of exotic insects.
These are kind of long.
lectures from professors at top Ivy
Not
League
what I was going
universities
for.
and experts from places like National You probably remember learning about the Egyptian pyramids at some point in elementary school. And even if you weren't part of the public school system, you were bound to encounter some information about them at a museum or in a book. These mammoths of structures are hard to escape, as they're famous for being grandiose in nature, to put it lightly. The tallest pyramid in Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza, once stood 481 feet tall, but has since eroded down to 451 feet because of vandalism. For you to better imagine this, the average 3-story building stands just 45 feet tall. So if we're doing the math correctly on this one, and we know we are, the pyramid would have stood at the height of a 32-story building. So who's responsible for the creation of these ridiculously tall and ever elusive, mysterious pyramids? We'll get to the bottom of it today in this episode of the Infographic Show, Who Built the Pyramids? Before we get into the nitty-gritty of who built them, let's start with some Pyramid 101, shall we? There are about 80 pyramids currently standing in Egypt. The oldest is the Pyramid of Djoser, and it's located in Saqqara, north of the city of Memphis. The pyramid was built in 2630 BC for King Djoser. Many of the more popularized and notable pyramids are in Giza, a city on the outskirts of Cairo, some of which include the Giza Necropolis, Pyramid of Khufu, one of the 7 wonders of the world, and the Khafre Pyramid. Ancient Egyptians were one of the first civilizations of people who believed in an afterlife. They didn't see death as the cessation of life, but rather as an interruption. They believed that when a king died, a part of his spirit, or his ka, remained intact with his
Hey,
physical
Entity,
body.
what's up,
The
my guy?
mummification we've all come to know about
Welcome
that
to the
has
show,
also been
man.
popularized in the media served the purpose of preserving
I
the
am
king's
learning
spirit that they
about
believed lived on.
the
They
pyramids
basically
right
hoped that
now,
the king's soul would return to his body
and
live
why
again,
it
so the king's
may
ka
be
was never
possible
left wanting.
that
They'd
ancient
also bury riches
civilizations were
like
more
gold
advanced than we
vessels,
thought they were.
food and furniture along with the dead king. Egyptians really weren't messing around with this belief. When the pharaoh was still alive, they revered him as an incarnate
yeah,
Horus,
dude,
the
I'm
god of the
back.
sky.
I'm back to
And when he
streaming.
died, he took on the form of Osiris,
Took
the
basically
god of
a
fertility in the
6-month
underworld.
break.
His responsibility as
Kinda
Osiris was to
built
set the sun, while the new pharaoh, his
this
son, would raise it.
scene
They
behind
believed
me,
this symbolic relationship was
and,
important in maintaining
yeah,
cosmic
now I'm back.
balance.
Live and
Back to the
kicking.
Pyramids, though.
How
They
you
were
been,
built
man?
to last, made mostly of stone, like limestone, which was used to build the core of the pyramid, while white limestone was used for its outer casing and for the interior walls. Pink granite was used on the walls inside, and basalt and alabaster were sometimes
Hey,
used for the
Conatron,
floor.
what's up, man?
Egypt has sometimes been referred to as
Welcome to the
staples
stream.
stone,
Welcome back,
so
bro.
there was never a shortage of it. The basalt they use
Yeah,
sometimes
MTG,
came
I
from the
remember
famed
you.
Depression, one of the major oases of the
You think
Western
I forgot
Desert,
about
while
you?
Alabaster was
After
from
all this
Luxor,
time?
a city on the eastern bank of the Nile.
It's gotta take a
Dennis
lot more
Stocks
than
and
6
ancient
months for me to
technology
forget about
consultant
you, man.
believed That 45 workers were needed to move
This
a 35,900 pound
is
and that's
evidence reveals how the
16.3
pyramids
tons,
were
by the way,
actually built.
block, and 8 people to move a 6,060 pound.
So we're basically learning how the pyramids could have actually been built. Just getting a better idea. And so far, learning that ancient civilizations may have been a little bit more advanced than we thought. They may have not had exactly the know-how about specific like elements and metals and tools, advanced tools like computers and stuff, but they had a pretty good idea on mathematics and how the world worked. So I'm doing pretty good, Entity. I appreciate you asking. I pretty much just took a break
As he
from
noted in his 2003
streaming
book, Experiments in Egyptian
because
Archaeology,
I wanted to,
shown working
you know,
technology in ancient
and
Egypt. One
I had a
single
lot
pyramid
going on in my
project
life,
could have
and
taken
mentally
between
I
20
just
to 30 years
was
to finish
enjoying
it.
not doing
For
it.
the longest time, it
So,
was thought that slaves
you know,
who were at
is
the
what it
behest
is.
of an evil
It
pharaoh
wasn't-
built the pyramids, and we
wasn't
can
anything
blame this
special. I
fake
don't have any
news
real
first
like
and
special
foremost on
story. I
Herodotus,
was just
the Greek
like,
historian who
you
wrote
know
that the
what?
Great Pyramid
I'm gonna
was
take a break for a
constructed by
little bit,
100,000
and I did.
slaves who labored
But
constantly and were relieved every 3
decided
months
I
by a
did
fresh
like
gang. The
streaming,
BBC further
and
argues that there's
so
no way King Khufu, the fourth dynasty
yeah,
ruler of Egypt
I'm back.
responsible for the commissioning of the Great Pyramid, had a body of slaves this large to work for him, and there's no way that all of them could work at the same time. We can also
Glad
thank
both of you
Western
can make it,
Hollywood
guys.
movies in part for perpetuating the myth. Movies like The Ten Commandments, that epic from 1956, and we're not just saying that. It's literally an epic saga that ran for 220 minutes and portrayed slaves as the builders. Another misconception that circulated is that the Jews built the pyramids. This lie
The
started
Jews.
when the former Israeli Prime Minister Menahem Begin made the claim when he visited the National Museum of Cairo in 1977. Amahai Mazar,
sorry.
a professor at the
I'm
Institute
sorry,
of
but
Archaeology at the Hebrew University
I find
of
it a little
Jerusalem
bit funny
and
that we're
Israeli
like
archaeologist,
comparing
refutes Begin's
the
claim
Jews
because it
to like
simply
this
doesn't make any
advanced,
sense. No Jews built the
great
pyramids because Jews didn't
civilization that
exist at the period when the pyramids were built.
that may
Mazar
be
was quoted as saying,
alien-like and has
Dorothy
this great
Ressig, an
technology.
editor of
Like, I mean,
Biblical Archaeology Review in Washington,
I don't
D.C.,
know.
said
I don't know.
this
That
falsehood
just
could
struck
also
me
stem
funny.
from a verse in Exodus, which says something to the effect of, "So the Egyptians enslaved the children of Israel with backbreaking labor, and the Pharaoh put them to work to build buildings." That's not exactly the way the verse reads, but you get the picture. Then there are those people out there who believe aliens are
Okay,
the ones who
this
built
is
them.
very
And
similar
let's
to the
all let
last
out one
video.
huge, exhaustive
Not
sigh.
exactly-
This far-reaching theory looks
not exactly giving me the facts like I want it. I kind of wanted to get a better idea structurally how if they were able to what it would take for them to lift something like that to that great of a height. And these are more just like conspiracy theories, I guess. But nonetheless, interesting stuff. I mean, if an ancient civilization was that advanced, I mean, that would be a great finding. That would be something insane. I mean, if they knew stuff like that, they could have known things that we would have never picked up on in the civilization that we're in right now. So, very interesting. I saw a video, suggestion of the Bermuda Triangle, and like now I'm like, now I just want to watch a short video on it or something. Things found in the Bermuda Triangle. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle. We'll do a 10-minute video
Ships
on
have shown
Bermuda
up
Triangle.
Absolutely empty, no sign of any struggle, yet the crew has just vanished.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 creepiest Bermuda Triangle stories.
A store moving in the photo, and soon after, the boys would be gone.
The last 60 years, this mystery has sustained the wildest theories about what strange forces could be at work out here.
For this list, we're looking at creepy and sometimes unexplained events that reportedly occurred within the infamous Bermuda Triangle. What's your favorite Bermuda Triangle story? Let us know in the
Bermuda,
comments.
Miami,
Number
and
10,
Puerto Rico?
Witchcraft. Not literal witchcraft, although we wouldn't be surprised.
We pray of thee. We invoke thee.
Witchcraft was the name of a luxury yacht that mysteriously vanished off the coast of Miami. The ship's owner and captain, Dan Burke, planned to look at the Christmas lights off the Miami shoreline with his friend, Patrick Horgan. However, something went slightly amiss during the trip, and a calm Burke contacted the Coast Guard requesting a tow back to shore. Burke made clear that it was not an emergency. When the Coast Guard arrived 19 minutes later, the Witchcraft and its occupants were nowhere to be found.
Which could be a prank. I mean, in reality, could be that they called, somebody called, or maybe even said that they were out there
Perry Cohen
and they weren't really. Could be a prank.
Can't forget these kids.
Despite the Triangle's reputation for missing ships and aircraft, many boats have actually been found after the fact. In 2015, the cargo ship SS El Faro went missing after encountering Hurricane Joaquin. Nearly 1 month after its disappearance, the ship was found intact at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, the reason things seem to be fine because you have tons and tons and tons of water in the hold of the ship that you don't yet know about. And that's slowing down your progress, making your ship heavier and making it appear more stable until that water shifts. And then when that water shifts, everything just goes crazy.
That same year, two 14-year-olds named Perry Cohen and Austin Stefanos went missing after embarking on a fishing trip. The two left on a boat belonging to Stefanos' mother and never returned. The area encountered a major storm after their departure, and Stefanos reportedly Snapchatted a picture of the oncoming storm from their boat.
A store moving in the photo, and soon after, the boys would be gone.
Made me a little bit nervous. And then I Snapchatted him, he didn't reply, so then that made me even more nervous.
2 days later, the abandoned boat was found off the coast of Daytona Beach. The boys were never found. Number 8, Douglas DC-3.
Dude, that's
In
freaky.
late December of 1948, Captain Robert Lindquist was flying a Douglas DC-3 from
To just be messaging your friends, they message you back a picture of this crazy monsoon coming,
and everything went smoothly until the plane came within 50 miles
and
of
then
the
they're just
American.
gone.
Lindquist attempted to contact the landing airport, but was met with total silence. They were unable to contact the ground, and the ground was unable to contact them. The plane subsequently disappeared and was never seen again. It then became the subject of a meticulous investigation by the Civil Aeronautics Board, who deduced that the plane was suffering from electrical difficulties that prevented communication. Number 7, the Carroll A. Deering. With it having sailed within the North Atlantic Ocean that's often attributed to the Bermuda Triangle, the creepy story of the Carroll A. Deering remains one of the most popular in maritime history. On January 31st, 1921, the ship was spotted run aground off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. It was clear the ship was abandoned, and when investigators finally got on board, they found evidence of damage and discovered that the distress signals had been lit. They also saw both the lifeboats and the crew's personal effects were missing. An intensive investigation was launched, and it concluded in 1922 without an official explanation. However, most people speculated it was the result of a mutiny after they sailed through the Triangle. Though this remains the most accepted answer today, nothing has been definitively proven, and speculation
What was
remains
that
about
game?
previous events
This
that
reminds
led
me
up
of
to this.
a video
Number
game.
6, Bruce Gernon. If Gernon's story is to be believed, then the Bermuda
There was a
Triangle
video
is
game where it was basically about an abandoned ship on the Bermuda Triangle.
was flying with his father and his father's business associate. The trio was flying from the Bahamas to Bimini, where they
Oh my
encountered
God.
some weird clouds.
I'm getting
and
these
flashes of
pop-ups.
light. Initially thinking it was a routine electrical storm, Gernon was horrified to see the clouds join together to form a 15-mile-long tunnel around the plane. After passing through, the plane emerged into a hazy field of thick gray mist, and the electrical equipment wasn't working. When the mist finally dissipated, he found himself over Miami Beach, which was physically impossible given their short flight time. Gernon believes he traveled through some type of wormhole.
So wait, what you're saying is that you accidentally discovered time travel.
Number 5. Star Tiger. The Bermuda Triangle clearly has a thing for Avro Tudor airliners. British Southern American
The Dark
Airways,
Pictures
owners of the
Anthology.
Avro Tudors,
That's what I'm
suffered
thinking
a
of.
really bad time in the late 1940s. In January 1948, the
Just so you can see what I'm
passenger
talking
aircraft
about.
Star Tiger with 31 people
The
aboard
the Dark
while
Pictures
flying between the
Anthology.
Azores and Bermuda.
There's, I think there's 3 of them now, actually.
Without sending a distress signal.
I don't know. I know they're working on the third one if they haven't already came out with it. I've seen people play both. It's like this live action story.
Named Star Ariel.
Here, I'll show you what I mean. They probably have a video on it. Yeah. This is the Dark Pictures Anthology.
Connections. Some would say that you can never be truly, genuinely alone. And yes, in your darker moments,
Conrad!
when you feel isolated, vulnerable, a helping hand, a reassuring word, the thought that there is someone else out there, someone who shares in your story, can be enough to see one through the most difficult of situations.
This is an interesting preview.
Diminishes control, and that has consequences. There are always consequences. And should that helping hand become somehow detached, or those reassuring words lost in the dark, then that feeling of isolation becomes amplified. When you realize that even within your connected world, you can still find yourself purely and absolutely alone.
Yeah, there's it's 1 to 5 players. I didn't know that. I've never seen 5 players play it all at once. But there's 5 characters, and you each play through this story mode, this crazy story that happens. And throughout it, each character has decisions to make. If they make one decision, it could lead to the group running into difficulties, let's say, all the way to an extreme of characters dying. And so all this time, other players have the ability to affect your storyline. So you really have to work as a team, but the story makes it kind of difficult to work as a team. That makes sense. You're not really put in what we would say a cookie cutter situation. You're really put into an odd situation that gets odder and odder as you go. It's a fun game. It's a linear story, so if you purchase it, it's going to be played the same way every single time. I think there is a best way to play it. So yeah, anyways, just one of those I saw, and this like reminded me of Bermuda Triangle stuff. It's an interesting story. If anything, I've had a lot of fun watching people play the game. And they have YouTube videos on it. The Dark Pictures Anthology. So I would just look up a YouTube video of somebody playing it, and follow them through it. Okay. I think what do I want to watch? Let's watch this. So this is what if we are not the first advanced civilization on Earth?
It's no secret that humans are the Earth's most dominant species. And without proof of life anywhere else in the universe, we can probably consider ourselves the most dominant species in space, too. But what if there were others, just like us, millions of years ago? How do we even know that we're the first advanced civilization to call the planet Earth home? And
we don't.
If there have been others, what kind of traces have they left for us to find? This is what if.
No,
and
I
here's
think
what would happen if an advanced civilization
I
had
think this
already
is a very
existed on Earth.
possible
We know that complex life has
idea.
existed on Earth for about 400 million years. But how could we look that far back? Ancient ruins and artifacts only take us back a few thousand years. Geologic records only about 2 million. So, if we can't rely on direct evidence, then where else could we find traces of a potentially extinct civilization? And what can we learn to make sure we avoid the same fate? Here are some numbers to make your brain hurt for a second.
Maybe even a
The
place
universe
like
is about
Atlantis.
13.8 billion years
You know?
old. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old. And humans have only developed our industrial
4.5
civilization
billion
in the last
years?
300 years. With all that in mind, it seems like there was ample
4.5
opportunity for another
billion
advanced civilization
years?
to emerge, flourish, and die, all before we...
I thought it was in the millions. It's in 4.5 billion years? Oh man, YouTube is saying this is copyrighted info? What? Man, why does YouTube gotta ruin all the fun? Ugh. Alright, YouTube. We'll try and go with a different video. Is it this What If series that's copyrighted? Or was it? Was there music playing with it?
even showed up. But finding any proof of a
Okay, I mean, there's kind of music. It's this background chiming. Let's try a different video from them and see if it's just like it's detecting some weird music in the background or something. What if Earth stops spinning for 5 seconds? That's an interesting idea. What if you met a time traveler? What if we become a type 1 civilization? What is a type 1 civilization? Interstellar species. Let's do the time traveler. Let's see if YouTube is okay with that.
If time travel is possible, why haven't we met a single time traveler yet? And if we did meet one, how would we know they weren't faking it? What would their time machine look like? And how would it operate? Would there be a set of rules for time travelers to follow? And
so far, so
what
good.
would happen if they decided to break them? This is What If, and here's what would happen if you met a time traveler. In 1998, a gentleman by the name of John Titor arrived from the future, or so he said. In his timeline, as he claimed, General Electric had managed to invent time travel in the year 2034. He even showed and described
YouTube
his
is
time
allowing
traveling
this.
device in great detail. And then Titor vanished as abruptly as he appeared. Did he finish his mission? Or was he real at all? How could we know? If we were able to prove...
Oh my god, seriously? I think this What If series is copyrighted because they just flagged this one too. God dang. YouTube is such an annoying system. Well, I'm going to follow these people. Man, stupid YouTube, man. Man, I came here to learn, but it's all this copyrighted crap.
Two dim lights illuminate the room. More a concrete box, really, unpainted and with power cables running along the upper edges of the wall. Some of these cables plunge into adjoining rooms, others snake down the wall and along the floor to a chair-like device. It looks a bit like an electric chair, but with a bulkier rear section that hums with power. A scientist works at a panel at the rear of the chair.
What's up, YouTube? You gonna flag this video too?
A young teenage boy being strapped into the chair by a guard. The skull cap has dozens of wires of different colors and sizes, all running out of it and into the strange machine. The young boy looks scared, but determined. The guard tests the restraints, then when satisfied nods at two men in black suits, standing by the entrance to this dimly lit concrete room. The men are smartly dressed and both wear dark sunglasses despite the low light. One of the men in black now looks at the scientists. Begin. The scientist at the rear of the machine furiously
looks like YouTube is cool with this.
The entire thing powers up with an audible hum of electricity. The boy's eyes widen in fear, but the second scientist leans down to reassure him. Just like we've discussed, concentrate on the target and the date, September 4th, 1976. See the man's face in your mind's eye. Focus on each line and the crease of his face. The boy shuts his eyes and nods. The hum of power in the room grows in volume, almost becoming unbearable. The boy grits his teeth and begins to yell, when suddenly, a bright flash of light and nothing. The boy is gone. A moment later, the boy returns, once more strapped to the chair. He's sweating profusely and panting as the scientists rush to let him out of his restraints. One of the men in black rushes to the boy and lifts his head up. Did you see him? Did you see the target? The boy, exhausted, nods his head. And what did you learn? The boy barely manages to speak in a hoarse whisper, clearly on the verge of physical and mental collapse. He was talking with a man. New submarine in construction. Called it Akula. The boy faints as the scientists call for a nurse. And
I miss you, Conatron. I'm glad you're back.
Black meet together, speaking in low whispers. Tell the president our operative successfully infiltrated Soviet time space. He failed to gather any useful intelligence, except confirmation of what our field operatives already told us. The Russians have built a new submarine, something big. We'll try again tomorrow, with the focus on gathering operational and technical details. Project Montauk is a success. Project Montauk, the infamous conspiracy theory that might have inspired Netflix's Stranger Things, a show about a secret government lab using psychic children to reach out to a different dimension.
Operation Montauk?
If whistleblowers are to be believed, traveling to other dimensions is only the beginning of what the United States government has successfully accomplished deep underground in New York State. Camp Hero, New York, was established in 1942.
You think they're doing it underground in New York?
As a simple fishing village. Camp Hero was actually a coastal defense station packing some serious firepower.
Why would they do it there? They have secret bases all over the place.
The gun emplacements were
So
set
they have
in massive
much more
concrete
secret
bunkers
bases
sunk into the
than
earth, and defenders would be able to rain
New
hell
York.
down on any invaders with 3 batteries of 16-inch guns.
I mean, right?
and
I mean,
6-inch
I'm not a
guns.
CIA agent, so
Shortly
I
after
don't
World War
know.
II,
But
the
I
site
mean,
was
like, I
abandoned by the
assume.
US military, with the exception of a long-range radar station meant to monitor the Atlantic for incoming Soviet nuclear missiles. Today, despite efforts to sell the land to developers, environmentalists have succeeded in protecting much of the former facility, which has been turned over to the National Park Service. At least, that's the official history. If you're one of the unlucky few who visited Camp Hero against their will, then you know that the real history is far, far more sinister. 11 years after Camp Hero was officially shut down,
Well, that's
two men
freaky.
underwent hypnotherapy to recover repressed memories they'd buried since they were children. Much to their surprise and horror, the men discovered they had their memories of their time spent in a secret government lab under Camp Hero buried deep into their subconscious. But now, the memories came flooding back. The tale is sinister. Discovered to be psychically sensitive, Preston Nichols and Stuart Sirdlow were both abducted by the government agents and brought to Camp Hero. Entering through one of the old gunnery doors, they took an elevator down to the bottommost levels of a secret underground research lab. There, the young boys were introduced to others.
Why do they make them look like little bobbleheads?
Socializing. The experiments conducted deep underground varied, but all were pushing the very cutting edge of science, and often even beyond that. With rumors that the Soviet Union was busy researching all manner
Why
of
are the old men
paranormal
touching the
phenomena
little
in a desperate
boys?
attempt to gain any edge they could over their American rivals,
The
United
old
States government
scientists
undertook
are just
exclusive
touching the
programs
little
to ensure
children.
American supremacy in every realm of warfare, even the paranormal.
And they won't stop nodding their head.
From the intelligence community, allowing intelligence agents to
It's
get
kinda
an inside
creepy.
peek at sensitive Soviet installations without their ever knowing. Young children who were psychically sensitive were trained in remote viewing techniques and even had their talents enhanced through a combination of technology and various drugs. But if the US could use psychics to spy on the Soviet Union's most secret installations, then surely the Soviets could do the same.
So
the
scientists.
Psychic Warrior program was born, with American psychic soldiers training to mentally defeat enemy psychic spies. Other experiments, however, sought to bend and twist the very fabric of reality itself. In the early 1940s, the United States had successfully teleported an entire warship in the incident which would come to be known as the Philadelphia experiment. The results of the experiment were messy, however, with the rematerializing ship having fused the living crew to its hull, leaving not a single survivor. Under the
What?
quiet grounds of Camp Hero, though, the US sought to perfect this technology. Teleportation experiments began small, with items such as apples or pencils being moved a few feet. The installation of a nuclear-powered generator allowed much greater energy to be dumped into the teleportation experiments. Until a stunning breakthrough, researchers were able to teleport a test subject outside of the Earth itself. The subject was swiftly returned, but had already suffered exposure to deep space and died shortly after. Over the years, however, the technology would be refined to the point of allowing Project Montauk scientists to teleport individuals all the way to Mars. In fact, it's believed that in 2012, President Obama himself was teleported to Mars to meet with an alien delegation there running a cooperative
Am I
research
supposed to
base
believe
staffed
any of
by both
this?
Americans and alien scientists. Aliens, of course, had their hand in Project Montauk, as it was their technology that helped to unlock the secrets of
Like-
many of Project Montauk's greatest accomplishments. To this day, there's little known about these alien
Do I
partners
think
that
the
United
government
States
is,
government has allied
you
itself
know,
with, or their true
batting
intentions
100
for our
and telling us
Perhaps Project
everything
Montauk's greatest accomplishment,
they're
however,
doing?
was in the realm of time travel.
No.
The benefit of time travel is obvious.
But
Imagine
do
being
I
able to send
think
an
that they're
operative back
doing
in
secret
time to
things
avert
with
national and
Obama
global
and sending him to the moon to
history
meet
as you know it today
aliens?
is all shaped by Project Montauk.
No.
The Allies winning World War II.
What the-
That's thanks to intelligence sent back in time to warn President Roosevelt of German and Japanese plans.
Okay,
The
this
US
is-
triumph
this is
over
good.
the Soviet Union in the Cold War. Once more, the secret work of American
This is a
time-traveling spies,
science-based
changing the past to correct
movie,
future mistakes and
guys.
eliminate potential threats.
This
Of
tells
course,
us
this
exactly
is
what
the
we need to
history
know
of
about
Camp
the
Hero,
world.
According to Preston Nichols and Stuart Swerdlow, with most of this history outlined in Nichols' series of books named the Project Montauk
Ooh.
series.
Everything
Nichols
you
has been widely
didn't know about the dark web but
what
should.
you're looking for can't be found on the internet, or at least the internet you know. Step right this way into
Alright,
these
apparently
zones.
they-
Welcome to the dark web.
The YouTube's
Mysterious place where
does not
anything can
care
happen. You're about
about
to find out. Here are 50 most insane
this
facts about the dark
infographic
web.
show, so they're fine with this. So,
Does it actually exist? If you're starting your dark web journey by typing in
So
how to
I
find
am
the
going
dark web
to-
on Google, you're likely to be disappointed. The darkest corners of the internet trade in some pretty illegal stuff, so no one who goes searching for it will find it easily, including law enforcement. So if you're going looking for this hidden network of markets and illegal sites, you should probably know someone who's in the know. Think of it as an old school speakeasy. If you want to get in, you better know the password and have the right equipment. Number 49. How do you get in?
what are you talking about?
None of the
It's
sites that
easy
make
to
up
get
the dark
in
web
to
can
the
be
dark
accessed
web.
through a standard browser because Big Brother is watching.
Right.
Instead, dark web users communicate through small friend-to-friend, peer-to-peer networks that let them communicate anonymously, as well as anonymous networks like
Tor.
Freenet, I2P, and Riffle.
Yeah.
These censorship-free systems are undetectable by law enforcement, mostly, and most can be installed on a normal computer for
Yeah.
little to no money.
It's
But
like
many
a
might be
separate
different
internet
tastes.
browser
Number 48.
that you can download.
Onion rings?
I've heard of Tor before. I've heard of a couple of the others. Tor is, I think, the most common one. And the funny thing is, Tor's symbol actually looks like these onions right here. So I think they're doing subliminal messages there.
Onion routing, because after your message is sent off, it's coded in layers of encryption, making it impossible to read if anyone hacks it. With each router it goes through, it has one level of encryption peeled away until it arrives at its destination in its original form. Although the original sender remains anonymous as long as they want to be. And the same goes for the funding. Number 47. Got 2 bits? If you want to buy something on the dark web, you probably won't be paying cash. After all, you won't be meeting anyone in person.
It's gonna be like Bitcoin. It's gonna be some untraceable
common source of payment on the dark web. Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, cryptocurrency.
Popular version being Bitcoin. But don't be surprised if some dark websites want more.
But there's a lot more than Bitcoin now. And they train that now that it's so commonly changed into cash. I feel like that has created
the dark web is mysterious,
an easier use of the dark web.
Difficult to get around than you expected. That's because many of them have been taken
If
down
that makes
by
sense.
law
I felt like I took a weird path to say that, but you get the idea.
However, only 8,400 of those are active, and most are seemingly benign. As for the sites that actually engage in illegal activity, it seems to be a high percentage, as many as 68%. But no one knows which will be taken down next. In fact, no site on the dark web is ever truly safe. Number 45, even Goliath's fall. It was the original online black market, the first true dark web market, and Silk Road was powerful. Using Bitcoin as its method of trade, Silk Road was on the run in the Tor router and primarily specialized in selling illegal drugs.
Silk
it charged
Road.
people to start accounts and had over 100,000 users at its high. And in 2013, it all came crashing down. The government shut down the site, seized over $1 billion in Bitcoin, and arrested its founder on charges relating to the massive sale of illegal drugs.
Really?
But that's not the only thing you can buy on the dark web.
That's interesting.
Number 44. It's free money. You know how annoying it is when you get a security alert on your credit card and you have to cancel the card? There's a decent chance your card just wound up on the dark web. Stolen credit card numbers are some of the hottest items on the black market auctions, but they're not worth much if they get canceled. That's why these auctions are usually sold in batches of 100. Some are bound to still work before they get canceled. Think of it as a collection of scratch
It's like
tickets, if they were wildly illegal. But
Yeah, it's like scratch tickets. That's a great way to put it. Because the idea is that if I buy 100 of these, I charge $500 to all of them. Well, 90 some odd percentage of them are going to be cut off before you actually get the $500 in your account. But there's going to be a certain percentage of people that don't monitor their accounts enough that when you take that $500, it's going to actually work. So, and I think you can purchase the credit card information for obviously less than that. So they sell them in bulks, in batches, and it basically is a lottery ticket. You're investing in the opportunity to get more money or to steal more money than you're spending. So yeah, that's a great way to put it.
3. Social insecurity. Another prominent item sold on the dark web, social security numbers. Identity theft is pretty common, but
I
there's
didn't know
one
that.
particular item that everyone wants. Any social security number belonging to someone with a credit score above 750. This can be
They would
invaluable
kill for mine,
an
Jesus.
expensive loan, and it often takes a lot longer to figure out that a social security number has been stolen
Wow.
than a credit card. Of course, if someone gets caught, the penalties for identity theft are much higher too. But what if your tastes in stolen goods are a little safer? Number 42. Hot
That's
entertainment.
being
Stolen credit
that's
cards are big business
that's
on the
being
dark web.
combated a little bit these days, because like the credit bureaus are actually working with credit card agencies now, like Capital One, who will send you a notification if there's any change on your credit score almost immediately. So that is a little bit different in modern day. Although back in the days before that was a thing, I'm sure it was a real nightmare. I'm sure it was.
but some of them are used before they ever go up for auction. And that's the case for the offer of a lifetime Netflix subscription paid for with stolen credit cards. All the risk falls on the person holding the credit cards, and you just sit back and enjoy all the content. Of course, if something goes wrong with the source of the cards, you can't exactly contact customer service. Is the monthly subscription fee really worth the Bitcoin? And this next entry takes extreme couponing to a new level. Number 41, half off, today only. Have you ever been behind that woman in line at the grocery store, rummaging through her purse for coupons? She might be a notorious cyber criminal. One popular low-level scheme on the dark web is to sell ultra-realistic copied coupons for common grocery items that work for 90 days. Some of these are even made to order, allowing people to get discounts on their favorite foods. That's a lot of work for 50 cents off Frosted Flakes.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That actually is a big option.
The grocery store lets you sink your money into low stakes and high stakes lottery. There's a Bitcoin lottery too. It works just the same as the real thing, except for the fact that it can only be purchased in cryptocurrency. Also, if you hit the jackpot, you don't get a giant novelty check to show off, and your cousin who's always broke doesn't see you on the news. That might be a plus. But if you have more illegal plans, the dark web is for you. Number 39, the nth degree. Looking to get a high-paying, high-level job, but there's just one problem. You flunked out. With some Bitcoin on the dark web, you could easily become a high-ranking Ivy League student. This isn't a new scam. Fake college
Purchase
degrees have been
a
available for years
doctorate?
Printed out. But they've now moved to a new platform. Getting fake college transcripts for a background check is trickier, but it has been offered. Will this pass the smell test for your would-be employer, or will it just be a conversation piece on the wall? That's not the seller's problem. And if you want to pull off the perfect crime, you might need the perfect gear.
Honestly,
mask up.
Honestly, my current employer asked to see my degrees. They wanted proof. They wanted a picture of my degrees. And that actually would be useful. They sell printouts that you can print out, pretend like you have the degree. Now, any true person that wanted to know would contact the university themselves and ask if this person is an alumni. So you can't really fake that, but I don't think a person would go that far to verify it. So that's actually a legitimate fraudulent business. Yeah, that's a fraudulent business that could make money on the dark web. Yeah, that's cool.
None like these.
I didn't think of that.
Bank robbers have been using Halloween masks to disguise their identity for a long time, but those in the know managed to get their hands on ones that provide complete anonymity. These realistic silicone masks are a much closer fit, create a realistic skin tone, and even make it easy for a bank robber to essentially change race and throw the police off the trail if they escape. Many areas have made these masks illegal as a security risk, which means there's only one place to go. You might even be able to get some gear that can't be found anywhere else. Number 37, lights out. One dark website in China had a unique electronic device available, claiming to be able to add credits to electronic slot machines to allow unlimited play. Jackpot! But the device actually seemed to be a lot more powerful than that. It worked as a portable EMP generator, one that was powerful enough to fry any electronic device within its vicinity. In criminal hands, it could be used to sabotage ATMs and other money-filled devices. In darker hands, it could be used to create a disaster or shut down parts of a city. Let's hope it was taken off the market. But the dark web isn't all that bad.
Never heard of its use.
Number 36, Wild Web. As Netflix Tiger King swept the internet,
yeah, Tiger King.
How do I start my own Tiger Zoo? The show probably would have talked them out of that, but the dark web is there for their worst instincts. Illegal wildlife trade has been big on the dark web since at least 20.
Gosh, you guys remember the first stage of COVID? It was the Tiger King stage. That's what I remember. I remember the first freaking month of COVID, staying home, indoors, watching Tiger King every day for a month. Maybe it wasn't a month, maybe it was a week. But I remember the Tiger King period. It was all anybody talked about for the entire bit of COVID. God, that feels so long ago.
Baby gorillas and other animals. And
Feels
if some
like a
user
whole.
prefer their animals less
Feels like we've been doing this forever
you can
now.
also buy illegal animal products, including bear paws, African ivory, and even dog meat. But the dark web
Feels
has
like
a
it's
lot
been
of
like a
uses besides
decade
illegal
that I've
trade.
been
Number 35, dark news.
dealing with
The dark web
COVID
has
and
become
stuff.
a haven for people looking to get away from corporate-driven news, believing they have a partisan bias and use too much spin. That led to some dark web users creating a new news aggregate site called Soylent News. It's controlled by the users, filled with news items from around the world, and has a public discussion forum. And hey, if a crackdown is going to start on dark web markets, maybe you'll find out here first. But some surprisingly famous sites have dark web counterparts. Number 34, Bookface. Facebook. Where else are you going to go get called names by an old high school
Bookface.
classmate over a political issue you don't care about? So what does this social media network need with a dark web mirror site? Well, for one thing, the site is blocked in many countries around the world, and the mirror site lets millions of people join in. It also allows people to use the site anonymously, and you don't have to worry about the company selling your data to whoever passes by that day. One company even created their own dark web mirror. Number 33, ProPublica Undercover.
Interesting.
When you need powerful enemies, you need powerful protection. The nonprofit journalism site ProPublica is famous for exposing betrayals of the public trust, even when it involves revealing private documents. Because the government could crack down on them or big business could sue them, they maintain their own dark web mirror site since 2016 to ensure that their archive can't be lost, and those looking for them can always find their latest expose. But how do you get around the dark web? Number 32, a map through the dark. You know how you can just tool around Wikipedia and find enough links to keep you occupied while you should be working on your term paper? Well, the Wiki
No,
is a
I've never
little
done that.
different Because the dark web is so hidden. To find any site, you'll need to know both what it is and its
jeez.
exact URL. This
Yeah.
won't show up on Google. That's why this site exists. If you've made it to the dark web, you can go to this site first and find a map of just about anything you want, including a totally private social media network. Number 31.
That's true. That's true. There is so in the dark web, there isn't a Google search bar that you can just type in the illegal thing that you're searching for and 20 results will come up. No, it's all hidden URL stuff. You have to know the link that you're going for in order to get to it. But there is an option in the dark web. There is a place, and I forget the URL of it, where you can go and it basically will send you to a random place in the dark web. It'll help you find random places on the dark web. So yeah, anyways, neat. I mean, it's something you don't think about when you think of the internet.
Welcome
You
to the
think
galaxy.
I'm on the internet, I can just Google and find out information or find websites that are useful, that are similar to what I'm looking for. But that's not how it works.
Platform. It's mostly used by longtime users and is a great place to find that specialist you're looking for. Kind of like approaching someone in a dark alley, except the dark alley is on your computer. In fact, just about anything you can find on the regular internet, you can find on the dark web. Number 30, a mirror world. Many sites have popular dark web knockoffs, created often with the help of designers from the original site. Reddit, DuckDuckGo, and mail servers are just a few of the copies you can find, as users seek an escape from the threat of government censorship or site moderation. Most of these
Hold on. DuckDuckGo? DuckDuckGo is an internet search engine that emphasizes protecting searchers' privacy and avoiding the filter bubble of personalized search results. DuckDuckGo does not show search results from content farms. I didn't know this existed. Seriously? I had no idea this existed. Wow. Hey, learned something. Cool.
These communities are much smaller than the original, but for those select few in the know, they can enjoy a truly anonymous community. So how do you join the dark web? Number 29, your own little slice of the dark. You go on a site like GoDaddy or Google Domains to purchase your website and you find no options for Onion domains. Well, if
Well,
it was
duh.
out there for anyone to buy, it wouldn't be a secret. To get a dark web domain, you'll have to go to the dark web. The most popular choice is Onion Domain, a website that sells them for, you guessed it, Bitcoin. Most URLs sold through there are random collections of digits, but you can have a custom one if you're willing to pay. But for those who enter, there's a darker side than the illegal markets. Number 28.
Huh.
Unlock the mystery. Many visitors to the dark web just want the thrill of...
So wait, there's a like GoDaddy of the dark web? Who controls that? Okay, let's think about this. GoDaddy is a corporation built around the idea of selling URLs to people. If that idea is in the dark web and everybody knows where to find it, in order to purchase a URL, why haven't they just shut that down then? Why are they letting it go? Why are they letting it continue? It seems like that would be easy pickings for the government to just like shut something like that down. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm missing something about that.
Something mysterious and possibly illegal. That's why a popular item on the market is mystery boxes. You bid in Bitcoin and the box is anonymously shipped to your house. What's inside? That's anyone's guess. Some people have found harmless items like a My Little Pony backpack or even completely empty boxes. Not worth the cost.
Seriously,
Good
you're gonna
luck
pay
getting a refund.
Bitcoin to get a random box? I don't understand why people do this.
Surprise.
They just purchase random boxes.
Gift. Unboxing might be the hottest trend on YouTube, but those unboxing their dark web gifts are often surprised in the wrong way. Some have found drugs, some have found weapons that seem to have blood on them. One found a Ziploc bag full of hair, and one found more personal touch. It was a bag full of white powder marked with a biohazard sticker, and a CD. When the CD was played, it was the sound of laughing followed by a mysterious voice saying, "I see you." Who sent it? No one ever found out. But who is actually sending these boxes? Number 26, Generation
We don't
Dark Web.
know.
Is
No
the dark
idea.
web full of dangerous criminals? The answer is a lot more complicated than that. While no one knows the exact demographics, many of the most avid users are tech-savvy Gen Z kids who are concerned about their privacy. Many of them have no criminal history, so the odds are many of these terrifying mystery boxes are essentially elaborate pranks designed to scare those who receive them or go viral on YouTube. But that's not always the case. Number 25, a den of thieves. The dark web has been increasingly used as a haven for high-level criminals looking to get away with their crimes away from the public eye. Because the dark web is an international hub, it's become a common place for Russian financial criminals to commit fraud. A common tactic is to create a duplicate of a legitimate commerce site with a slightly different URL and trick people into giving them their personal or financial information, which then disappears into thin air.
Scamazon.com.
Don't always stay there. Number 24, Hackaway.
Yeah,
One of the
I
most
can see
notorious
that.
criminal enterprises on the dark web is hacking collectives.
It's one of the most
emails and files that contain links to
notorious things is to get that email of something that with an obvious bugged link that for some reason boomers still click on. I don't understand, Grandma,
in Bitcoin,
how you don't get this by now. Don't just click every email you get. Don't do it. Don't do it, Boomer. Hey, Jess. Welcome back. Glad you're here.
Avoid most viruses by not opening suspicious
Hello,
files. Hackers
humans.
have developed new, smarter viruses that can spread through back doors and attack computer systems even if no one
Hope you're
lets
having a
them
good
in.
day.
It's been used to shut down everything from hospital computer networks to government sites to oil pipelines supplying much of the U.S.
We are watching a video.
And in 2017,
What did I join to? We are watching a video about the dark web, and learning just what is out there and what dangers are possible.
Many users paid the ransom quickly, but no one ever got their data back. This led to crises around the world as Microsoft scrambled to get updates out that would protect their computers, and security experts battled to save much of the world's computer infrastructure. The savior? Marcus Hutchins, a cyber expert
And it's a bit longer than what I thought it would be.
before and knew the ins and outs of viruses.
Grandma, just don't do it is the first thing that I heard.
But some darker corners of the dark web are lurking as well.
Look, old boomers are clicking URLs and clicking links in emails, and we've told them to stop. We said, Grandma, I did not email you to click on this video of puppies. I didn't do it. I will never do it. Don't click the link.
Porn that's darker than average. Much contains illegal activity, and both the providers and downloaders have found themselves in trouble with the law.
No, I'm just role playing with my boomer family.
Down on the odds are another
With my
is waiting. Some
maybe
areas of the dark
real
web
boomer
may be a
family.
threat to global security. Number 20.
Who maybe has had their identity stolen several times.
And the internet was still new, but that didn't stop dangerous elements from carving.
I wish I was kidding.
The growth of the dark web let people gather away from prying eyes, and some of the first to take advantage were extremist groups from around the world. The dark web became a place for terrorist groups to gather, spread propaganda, and plot attacks without the authorities being able to track them. It wasn't long before the most prominent terror groups in the world got in on the action. Number 19, the war goes dark.
See, that's one thing that I'm like, terrorist groups are on the dark web? Like, is that... I mean, I guess I can't be for sure that that's not true, but like, I don't know. Feels like they're more sophisticated to contact in like a different way, but I don't know. I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
Brutal attacks were carried out against
Never
the
mind.
civilian
Never mind.
population.
I take back my question.
Some evil elements were trying to pass more money on the terrorists.
Take back my confusion.
Sarsour attempted to hire snipers via the dark web. He was quickly caught.
What?
Investigation showed that even ISIL had a presence on the dark web, with multiple sites, some real and some
God,
fake.
what sick person tries to hire a sniper on the dark web? Like, what has happened in your life that you want to hire a sniper? Like, that's your reaction instead of just like, I don't know, quitting your job and saying F you, boss, and just walking away. You know? That's
and for the release of information the most powerful people in the world don't want you to know. A collective of online guerrillas, their tactics were ruthless and targeted elements from across the political spectrum.
Now, I
Meaning
remember
just about
this,
everyone wanted to stop
actually.
them, but that would be easier said than done. And the hacker
There was actually a group, I wouldn't say of terrorists, but they were a anonymous group on the dark web that created this chain, chain of clues. I forget what the first clue was, but it each led to another clue to find and join this secret organization. And they were targeting the most intelligent people in the world to join this secret organization. And that's the way that they did it, was through riddles. And if you solved the riddles, you got to join that secret organization. Well, eventually the clues disappeared, and though it was thought that that group had made contact with enough people that they wanted to include in their secret organization, and they had cut off links. Well, actually, years later, they reached out again. Same thing happened. It stayed up for some time, and then when enough time had passed, it vanished again. I forget the organization. I need to Google this because I remember distinctly the story, but I can't remember the organization name that everybody called it as.
Collective pulled off some impressive.
I don't know what to choose for my electives. I know that I'm going to going with pretty calculus. I think you meant pre-calculus for math because I want to go to college and university, but I don't know what to choose for my electives. Electives were always difficult for me. I would say a good one for you would be like art or something.
But the powerful hacking group wasn't
something where it
false flags.
helps your creative
Anonymous was a
side,
large collective operation.
so you
That
can
meant
express
information was only as good
your
as each
creative
individual
side.
member putting it out.
I'd say that'd be a good one
Its
for you.
reputation took a big hit during the Ferguson protests when they found
I know
out that
I
the
always
officer involved in the
excelled at
shooting
math,
and then
so
named the wrong
ironically I ended up as an accountant,
to reveal a list of
but
politicians who were secretly
that was
members of
kind of
the
my
KKK.
thing. The Illuminati, see, that's a whole nother subject. The Illuminati. Of course I misspelled it. They are a secret society, but it was thought to be a different secret society. These, man, that's a whole nother subject that we can get into. My goodness. No, it wasn't them. God, we're getting down a rabbit hole here.
And ethnicities who are hated by the Klan. Whoops. But their most prominent role crossed over into the world of
Let me
journalism.
try and Google
Number
it real
15,
quick.
Welcome to WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks isn't on the dark web, it's a website anyone can visit, but no one's managed to take it down, no matter how many prominent governments would like to. Founded by the controversial Julian Assange, it specializes in posting classified documents from the highest level of governments around the world. While Assange has been provided his documents by agents within the government, most of his
There it is.
communications are done by the dark web. That has been
Cicadia
stopped from being wanted by
3301.
multiple countries, leading him to take refuge in the embassies of friendly nations. But not all hackers have a higher purpose or political goal. Number 14, the wrong Evite.
Let me see if I can pull up.
Evite would be a hub for dark web activity. The social planning service has tens of millions of followers, most of which use it for organizing. and
Wow,
hosts to
Google was
events.
really quick on
But
that.
In 2019, the site was targeted in a massive security breach, and more than 10 million users had their personal information leaked. The hacker behind it had a relatively modest demand, just under $2,000 in Bitcoin, but Evite had a policy of not paying ransom to avoid encouraging.
Okay, Jess, I'm ready. What's your news? It's good news, right? It's great news. It's exciting news. We're excited. Uh-oh. The face doesn't look excited. The face she made does not look excited. Okay. This is what I was thinking of. Cicadia 3301. That's what I was talking about. The secret group calling itself 3301 began recruiting for highly intelligent individuals. It's been a long time since I looked into this, so I don't remember like the big details of it, or I remember the overview of it, but we need to watch a video on this, because that's another one.
Hackers and countless people's information. wound
Yeah,
up
I
being
remember
put
you
up for
talking about
auction on the
that.
dark web. But not every dark web mystery has a criminal connection. Number 13, Dead End Mystery. It was August 2012, and around the dark web,
Ooh,
users were finding
congratulations,
clues.
Jess.
It's a
That's
part of an
awesome.
augmented reality game which combined clues on the internet that led them to locations in the
You
real
do?
world.
Oh, that's
A combination of
awesome.
code scattered
Jess,
around
you are
multiple sites made it
awesome.
very
Good
hard
for
to track.
you. You're
And
trying it
users went to
out.
intense
That is
lengths like
exciting.
traveling to New York
That
to
is
enter a specific
exciting.
payphone at 3
I'm
in the
super
morning.
happy about that.
So what was the mystery behind this scavenger hunt?
Good job,
Hidden
girl.
treasure? Nope. it
Wait,
was all a
so
promotion
do I
for a
get to
new
know her
album by
name?
the
Can I
hip-hop
meet her?
group
Can I talk to her?
Okay, so
I'm
that
gonna be
was
your
sort of
friend.
chaotic neutral, but the dark web
I'm gonna
has its
friend
good
her.
side, too. Number 12.
We're gonna be besties, and I'm gonna talk about you all the time on stream with her.
Feel free to step into a game of chess, but exclusively on the dark web.
I'm just yanking your chain. I'm super excited for you. That is awesome. Proud of you.
That looks like it could have come
But don't let it overwhelm you. Just let it happen naturally. You know, anything that's going on.
By a 6-year-old prodigy. And those cramming for a paper can say,
I'm glad you told me that. I'm glad you feel comfortable coming to me with this kind of stuff, because it really makes me feel good.
quickly add up for struggling college
It
students.
really makes me feel like we got a
That's
connection
why
here.
many sites have cropped up, getting around those paywalls by uploading papers and textbooks to the dark web. While some are illegal piracy websites that get shut down regularly, The trend has spread, with some organizations even encouraging authors to submit their own papers.
Ah, Jay. Okay. All right. All right. I like it. I like it.
Number 10, blown away. Being a
That's awesome, dude. I'm excited for you.
You could be violating a corporate disclosure agreement.
You could do your Twitch name as like J&J or like, wait, no, that's no good. Never mind. Jess and J TTV. Yes, that's better. I like that.
Like the Washington Post have even started using them.
Nervous? Why are you nervous? No, remember what we talked about? Not nervous, we're excited. We're not nervous, we're excited.
The dark web has played
It's
host to some
exciting.
truly notorious criminals, and some have paid a heavy price. Vietnamese hacker Hu Minh No might be one of the worst, for quantity, not quality.
Hu Minh No?
The theft expert had been running a massive operation from his home and managed to steal over 200 million people's identity information.
Whoa, 200 million
He would sell
people?
it to other hackers until the feds got up with him, which landed him 13 years in federal prison. But
That's all he got was 13 years for 13 for millions of people's of identities?
He went through the online marketplace Silk
I don't
Road
think
in
that's
the
how I'm supposed to say
2000s,
that.
so the odds
Millions
are
of
you heard about
people's
someone
of
called
identities.
Pirate
Nope.
Roberts.
Nope, that
would
doesn't
be
sound
the man
right.
better known
Nope.
as Ross Ulmer, the mastermind of Silk Road. His digital black
Millions
market
of
sold millions
people's
dollars in
of
illegal drugs and
identities.
other goods, but not weapons, as
That's
the
what I
staunch
said.
libertarian
That's,
didn't believe in.
yeah.
But
Oh.
that didn't stop him from contracting out hits on potential enemies. When his empire
Okay.
came crashing down, he was
My knowledge, and this is my boomer knowledge, of Silk Road was an ancient trade route that linked the Western world with the Middle East and Asia. What is Silk Road in, like, an anonymous market? Don't laugh at my spelling, chat. Just wait till you're old and forget how to spell things. Silk Road was an online black market and the first modern darknet market. Oh, so the secret name for it. That's pretty cool.
sentenced to a double life sentence plus 40 years. But for some criminal enterprises on the dark web, they claim to go even further. Number 7, guns for hire. Is it really possible to contract someone's death on the dark web? A lot of people think so, because you don't have to go far to find someone claiming to be an assassin for
This
hire.
is probably the most common thing, but I'm sure half of them are just
no
like,
assassinations have ever been tied to these dark web assassins.
I'm sure a majority of them just steal your money and leave, you know? I mean, there's no, if I pay you over the dark web, what is holding you to make that assassination? What is holding you to actually do that? Nothing. You know? It's not like I automatically get a refund if you don't kill this person.
Anyone who claimed a bounty
So,
could collect however much had been
I
raised
think
from
it's
assassination.
advertised on there more than it's actually an accepted
Someone
practice.
cashed out all the bitcoins in 2018. But is the dark web coming after you? Number 5, the hunters. Rumors abound of people being kidnapped and sold on the dark web, and there's truth to this. In 2019, a British model named Chloe Ayling went to Milan.
That's so awesome for Jess. I'm so proud of her.
By 2 men who ambushed
It's so
her. She was found
awesome.
After 4 weeks, and the plan by
I'm
the
always happy to hear things like that.
No one knows who intended to buy her or what their
God,
plan
it's
was,
such a good day.
but
Like,
being sold on the dark web or not,
such a
nobody
good day
ever
when
sees
things like that happen.
But for those sold on the dark web, is there
I think
a
it'll go
dark
well for her.
destination? Number 4, what is the Red Room? Wherever you
Red
look,
Room.
people are talking about the darkest and
Red
darkest
Rum, Red
locations.
Rum.
A website where you can watch live streams of random people being tortured and killed by masked maniacs.
What?
Who are these victims? Some say they're horrible people who escaped the law, and others say they're innocents kidnapped off the streets. But no
Hold up. Red Room Dark. Let's okay. Red Room Dark Web. This is the thing? This is legit? This is freaky. Really? This is a thing? Man, I heard something. Okay. I just learned something very scary today. That these red rooms exist. So on the dark web, there are live feed videos of people being tortured. Really? Like,
no one has been able to find any of these red rooms, and authorities believe the most likely reason why is that they're only a gruesome urban legend. But urban legend or not,
okay,
they're not going away anytime soon.
So they're not real. It's like the movie Hostel. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Hostel or any of them. I think there's multiple. There's like sequels and stuff. I have so many tabs open. Jess, it's gonna be okay. I don't know if I want to show you this, but I'm going to. Here's what's on my other monitor. Yeah, I have all of these pinned tabs. These are naturally there when I open my web browser because I've pinned all of that. And then I have that on my other monitor so I can kind of like Google stuff as we do this and monitor YouTube so it doesn't, block my content because it thinks I'm copywriting everything. And then these are just the tabs that I've opened tonight to look stuff up. I'm a tab person. I just open a million tabs. If I have an idea, open a tab. Open a tab.
Sensation.
That's the way I am.
Legend might be the dark web.
But what's even crazier is this freaking Red Room legend. Like, that's a legitimate possibility that people could do that. Like, legitimately. Your PC is laughing at my laptop right now. Wait, what do you mean? My PC is laughing at your laptop because my PC is so amazingly, awesomely overpowered? That's what I'm imagining you're saying. These red rooms are freaking me out. Those can exist. Like, those could be a real thing. Red rooms sound freaky. Super scary. Like, how can a person torture another person on a live feed? That would be like us doing this right now, but instead, like, I'm being tortured back there. I can't wrap my mind around this. I hope that that's not real. But it very well could be.
It's a lasting legacy, with the idea becoming popular far from the internet's reaches. Horror movies have been made out of the concept, a digital update of the popular torture cabin genre of horror. Even comics are getting in on the action. Acclaimed cartoonist Ed Piskor releases a monthly indie comic about the employees of the torture chamber called, you guessed it, Red Room. But this dark corner of the internet isn't a secret anymore. Number 2, more popular than ever. Despite all the scary rumors, the dark web is becoming a popular place to do business. Part of it is the privacy and the increased risk of hackers, which is ironic because you're more likely to interact with hackers there. Some of it is the increased use of cryptocurrency. But whatever the reason, it's paying off. It's estimated that up to 30% of Americans have used the dark web at some point.
30%?
Number 1, cha-ching. No one knows
30%?
exactly how much money is spent on the dark web each year. It's a big part of the appeal. No one knows what you're up to. But estimates are now that it's a billion-dollar business, mostly in smaller Bitcoin transactions. That's a lot of secret purchases, and whether they're buying mystery boxes, drugs, illegal pets, or your identity, well, that's for them to know and you to not find out. For more on this mysterious corner of the internet, check out why you should never visit the dark web.
Okay, for me, that video was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. It kind of, for me, dragged out a little bit, but I feel like I learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have known. Yeah. Honestly, with how many conspiracy theories there are and how much some of them not factually are sound, but like theoretically these things can actually happen. there's got to be a certain percentage of them that are legit. No, I didn't just see a money waterfall. Hold up. Hold up. Make it rain. The red rooms probably exist already. Yeah, I'm afraid that is actually probably a thing. Even if they don't like constantly, it's not like a constant thing. I bet that it has happened before and will happen again in the future. Unfortunately, I feel like it is a thing. Like, my gut tells me that is a legitimate thing that is happening out there. And there's no one entity that can just stop it, you know? I mean, the world is so divided into so many countries. Those countries are divided into different organizations that actually have power. And how do you stop something like that? It's a difficult question. I mean, I don't know. What if it's happening right now? I know. Like, we're just sitting here having this great fun stream talking about Jess's awesome new girlfriend, and on the other side of the world, there could be that going on. I mean, that's the world we live in today. It's crazy. Now let's talk more about Jess's awesome new girlfriend. Yeah. I do want to watch. I think I'm done with like mysteries for tonight. I think I want to switch my genre, but I do want to look at things like Circadia 3301. I don't really care about Silk Road. That's basic. I get I get that. I do want to look at the Illuminati at some point. I can't believe I didn't know that DuckDuckGo existed before tonight. I guess it's not that big of a deal. It's just a private search engine, but pretty interesting. Why does it say Der Room Dark Web? I thought did I type in red or Der? Yeah, I didn't know about DuckDuckGo. I had no idea it existed. I had no idea. I mean, why is it different? It's the only difference is it doesn't track you, right? It doesn't like give you suggestions on things. Let's search something on there. Wait, put Remand research it? You want me to put red? Oh, wait. You want me to switch it here? Red Room Dark Web? It is not illegal to access Dark Web. I believe that's correct. No, I think I just literally typed it in wrong. I think I just fat fingered it. Tor Dark Web. No! I can't type. I seriously, I'm having trouble typing. Der. Okay, I typed in Tor Dork Web. Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is what I know as the dark web browser. This is the one I am aware of. I don't have it. I've never used it, but That's the one I know of. But I think there are others. This is one of the more popular ones. Cool. It's enough science for me right now. I want to make the mood lighter. I don't want to. I feel like we've been on a science trip for a minute now. Well, alter would really dampen the mood. Oh, FYI. So I was watching. What did we watch last time? Fear Factor. That's what it was. Jesus, my mind. We were watching Fear Factor last week, remember? Well, YouTube didn't like that apparently. Apparently that's copyrighted information. So we won't be doing that again. We won't be doing that kind of copyrighted content. So so they did a copyright claim. I disputed it and they took off any warnings on my page. And basically just took off the video. It was like, don't do it. You know, just don't stream that kind of content because they don't like that. Which I'm perfectly fine with. You know, I'd rather them just take the video down than be upset with me in any way. So now on my other screen, I am monitoring YouTube and it gives you a little warning on there when there's content that you're playing that seems to be copyrighted. So they give you flash warnings. So, by the way, I'm monitoring that, and if at any point a warning comes up, I may abruptly stop a video and just be like, we can't watch this anymore. So, that's what that is. Yeah, so that's kind of a thing that we're doing now, unfortunately. So, I mean, we could be into like a really cool video, and then I just randomly have to stop it and be a buzzkill, but it is what it is. It's better than the channel getting shut down, you know? Have you ever wondered what other people's YouTube pages and Google pages look like? Like because all of these sources track us and what we like. They track the things that we watch, and they'll try and give us similar things to keep us watching. So it's like, if I'm on here and you're watching like me go through this content and stuff, I guarantee all of these suggestions on my screen are going to be completely different than yours. So I always wonder, like, if it's like, what would it look like to have a completely different profile set up with them? What if I got to just browse the internet as somebody completely different for the day? You know? That would be really cool. I guess that's what y'all are kind of getting to do. Y'all are watching me kind of browse through these. See, this is an example of what we're not going to watch. This is an MTV video right here of Fear Factor stuff. So specifically that kind of stuff we're not going to watch. I see some videos on your page that I've seen on mine. That's because we're so alike, Jess. We got similar interests, you know? We're basically the same person. Yep. Did you know that they did a study on languages around the world, and the study was done to get an idea on average of how much silence was tolerated in a conversation before somebody just spoke up and started talking about random stuff just to start conversation. And what they found is English has one of the lowest tolerances for silence, meaning that we talk a lot. Like English people who speak English talk way more on average than anybody else around the world. I just thought that was so interesting. Is that like, I can totally see it. I can totally see that. Like, I know people that don't shut the F up, and I'm like, you're not saying anything interesting. It would be more interesting if we just like concentrate on whatever we're working on. But uh-oh. Ooh, we can find the secret Scrooge. All right, let's do it.
We're gonna show you something from TikTok right now.
We got something brand new though. This time it's a little stamp.
We brought together.
By the way, I thought about just like surfing TikTok and just doing reaction videos to that kind of stuff, but I feel like that's a little dangerous. There's content on there that I don't feel correctly portrays what this channel stands for, if that makes sense. And there's no way to block it all, because like you can't decide, you don't like pick categories to watch from like YouTube. So I don't know, maybe I could do like my favorites of like TikTok or something, you know, things that I like click on and like, you know, maybe I could do something like that. That would be cool.
There's 7 Christmas lovers.
I love the holidays.
I love the holidays. I love the holidays.
I love the holidays.
I love the holidays.
I love the holidays. And I love the holidays.
Good lord. Look at all the Jubilee videos.
They'll split a cash prize.
All of these are Jubilee.
If the liar survives, they win the entire prize.
The funny thing here, Jubilee, all other videos have other suggestions going on.
Okay. Alright. I really love Jingle.
But
White Christmas.
So mine is Home Alone.
Jubilee, it's just more Jubilee videos. Oh, here's one on the infographic show. Wow.
My favorite is Fred Claus, and it will be the Grinch. For me, it's White Christmas.
With this friend, they play this game I know nothing about, and they always tell me everything about the game and characters that are coming back and events. I know nothing about the game yet. She talks to me like I understand everything. And she shows me like a million things from the game and how much damage your character does. It's so annoying. Like I wish I could just tell somebody like I don't have any interest in what you're telling me. Just stop talking about it. But that's rude, and you don't want to do that, and you're friends with the people, so it's like I totally feel you. Like, it's such an easy thing. It's I know people that do the same exact thing. I know people that just don't shut up. And that is a serious problem to me.
I'm a Catholic. I also like it because
One
it's December, so
might be a
my
relative
birthday
of
and my
mine.
mom's birthday, so it's celebration after celebration. It's like
season of like cold and daylight savings and everyone's like depressed. But then there's Christmas, so there's the whole like spirit of like happiness and just seeing your friends and family.
I spend a lot of my time with my family during Christmas. It's also my birthday, so it's like a huge celebration.
Question: do you get double presents or do you get? I know people's birthdays Christmas.
Yeah. My brother's birthday is Christmas too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get double presents. So yeah,
That's
I am
nice.
pretty happy that I get that.
All right, what do y'all think is the best time to put up the tree? Like what?
I guess that's the best way to do it. When your birthday is on Christmas.
But last year I had my tree all year round. My
We
mom's
put it
like,
up
really
before
into it, so.
Thanksgiving because it's something we like to look at when we're eating.
Okay, YouTube, don't flag this video.
And,
I'm gonna be upset if you flag this video.
Tell your kids about Santa Claus.
Heck yeah.
I actually think that like the real life Santa Claus was like a pretty cool person.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
was
you
gonna say
can
that.
like
All right,
raise your
I think
kids
YouTube's
that
okay.
Santa Claus is a real person.
They're just giving me an error message.
Obviously season of forgiveness, of
Huh.
giving. My family really wanted me to just learn about like the core meaning of Christmas, so I think that's something that was always. I was honestly mainly
Okay,
suspicious
I think we're
of
good.
guys. I just felt like you can rely on girls more to be into things like that.
That's sexist.
Thought she was piggybacking.
That's sexist. That is not fair logic. Just because we're guys, we don't like Christmas. We don't like Christmas as much as everybody else. Golly.
Trees or something, and then he said like, "Oh no, like that has to be after
That is
Thanksgiving, like
wrong.
it's too early." So then that threw me off, and then I was like, I think I need to get him. I think it's him.
So cute.
If everyone feels confident that you already caught them all, you can end the game now. If the majority has doubt, the game will continue. Raise your hand if you have any.
Every day the same thing. Oh my god, I feel your pain like so much.
I'm horrified right now.
Do you guys have any specific like family traditions that you guys do?
For me, growing up in
Like, girl, only the 100 times you showed me. It just makes you want to stick on that neck.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It's like
Please don't do a clip of that.
like house to house eating. There's a lot of like if people are, like
You know, but there's always those people, and you want to be nice to them. You want to be their friend because they're friendly and you get along. But sometimes you're just like, dude, I don't want to see the game you're showing me. I don't want to see. I have no interest in this. Can we move on? I know the feeling. Yeah.
It's so cute. I mean, I'd suggest doing it. It's fun.
I never
It's
thought
something.
about that. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Do you guys have any like Christmas dinner, like specific foods that you guys eat at Christmas time, or trees?
Oh, oops.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Like here, since they sell like
No.
like, where can I get them tamales?
I really love tres leches.
No.
Yes.
It's my
Oh my
birthday,
God.
so I
yes.
get like a huge one from Portos.
I feel that.
and
I feel
they
that.
just bring 'em over.
Oh,
This is like a very
They're like-
Latino square.
I know. I'm like, hold up.
She did. No. Chat, she clipped it.
She was a little quiet, and at times she didn't really say like much details.
She just like
I didn't know my face got that nuts.
She wasn't saying any specific details besides her train. I felt like everything she was saying was just.
Oh, I look like a serial killer. I look like I could be in one of those red rooms.
Hispanic family.
I'm sorry, chat. You had to see that. Goodness.
Alright, guys, it's go time. I want to ask
Oh,
the hard
the volume's not off.
I want to play devil's advocate, okay? Why, if you were the mole, I'm not saying that you're the mole. Why would you hate Christmas? I just wanted to catch somebody.
That's funny. Thanks, Jess.
Maybe someone had like a really bad experience.
Oh, you're right. Like something bad happened.
Yeah, maybe somebody's parents died on Christmas, and they're just like,
I know that's the premise for a movie.
yeah, now I hate. Oh, that is a premise of a movie.
The people that I know that don't like Christmas.
Oh, dude, that is a perfect premise of a movie right there.
It's like the capitalist aspect of it. Like they might not buy into.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Can I ask you guys really quick? How do you rank the other?
Oh.
rank them like 1, 2.
Yeah, I'll go. I like
Christmas.
Oh,
Halloween.
Christmas, Halloween, maybe my birthday. then New Year's.
Yeah, I really like Easter. I like 4th of July, Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving, because of all the food, good food. Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Thanksgiving, Halloween's dead last.
Aww. I love
Really? I like Halloween. It's fun.
Precious.
Don't you say you're welcome to me.
No, not really.
Thank you.
I feel good. I feel really good.
Aww. Poor guy.
Good luck, guys.
Bye, man.
None of the girls trust any of the guys. It's... Come on. We can like Christmas.
If the lights turn green, you voted the liar out. If the lights turn red, the liar is still in the box, and you lose.
Yeah, they did it! If it actually turns out to be one of the guys, I'm gonna be upset.
Good job.
Because that's just a coincidence. Guys are allowed to like Christmas. Be a girl. Damn it!
He almost
Come on! Come on!
My birthday's on Christmas, so
I knew it. I was like, because of that.
My birthday's on Christmas,
my family
so.
obviously made it clear that like I was more important than the holiday.
Oh, that's nice.
But when it came to like friends, it was more of a like, oh, it's Christmas, and oh yeah, it's your birthday. I forgot.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay.
Why did that feel so awkward? Why did that feel so awkward afterwards?
When we had
He was-
to list off the holidays on how we ranked
Friends
them,
always just
as soon
like,
as I threw Halloween
we're
at the
like,
very
oh
end, I
yeah,
kinda
it's
saw
your
the faces that
birthday.
everybody made. Those faces just straight up told me like, that's it, you're out.
Once I found out that Amelia was,
I feel so bad for him.
I don't know. I just something. There was a connection there, somewhat of an alliance.
Throughout the rounds, they had game I trust, and I was like, if one of them is the mole, then I give up.
Jeez.
Hi guys, my name is Sarah, also known as the new and improved Elf on the Shelf.
Nice hat. Fun stuff. Okay. Been a cool stream. Been kind of fun. I think this is where we're gonna end it. I think it's let's see, it's been almost 2.5 hours, so not too bad. Pretty good stream. Hey, Contron, I'm glad you showed up, man. I'm glad you're around. Hopefully we'll get to see you on some more streams soon too. This has been a fun one. I feel like I learned a lot of things about a subject that I already knew a little bit about, you know, and it kind of expanded my knowledge on that a little bit. Next time I want to keep going. I want to keep expanding on some of these subjects, because I just feel like some of these are interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, Jess. Yeah, it's time. It's time. And I feel like you just got here too. Like we had some bad timing on this one. She was too busy making out with her girlfriend. You know I'm gonna have to say that now for every time I see you for a little while. Oh, Jay. I gotta rag you a little bit. It's because we're friends. It's from friend to friend. It's because we're there for each other as friends. Got to. But yeah, so been a good stream, been a good week. we are going to plan same time next week. We're gonna do Tuesdays and Thursdays from now on, 7:30 p.m. because that's when my son goes to bed. So I'm finally freed up, because I don't want to miss time with him. So prior to that, I am working, and then I spend time with my son, and then we do the stream. So that's kind of the logic behind that timing there, guys. So sorry about that. And then I typically try and go to bed with enough time to get a full 8 hours. So that's why I've picked this timing. And it's working for now. I feel like I am getting to hang out with you guys a bit more than obviously nothing. And I am really enjoying that. So hopefully we can keep expanding on this at some point, but for now we'll just do Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Glad you two could make it. Glad y'all were here. Conatron, always good to see you, my guy. Welcome back, and I hope to see you again for some more awesome YouTube streaming craziness fun. And as always, Jess, congratulations, by the way, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. Bye. Y'all have a good one.